I want to talk about this subject because there was a great article in Huffington Post about friends with benefits and the rules. I talked about it with Dan Delmar this afternoon as well. The rules of engagement, if you will, if you are with somebody just for the benefit of sex.
What do you mean by engagement?
Well, the rules of, like, do you have rules? Like, what?
Sleeping over is optional kind of thing?
Yeah, well, what are your rules? Yeah, I want to know. Do you have, like, first of all, I shouldn't just make the assumption that you have those kinds of relationships. Not everybody does.
No, you can make those assumptions.
Oh, yeah, it's okay with
it's
you.
Okay. It's okay
Edelman?
for young boys like us.
Okay, I want to hear some rules.
David. Well, I'm a pretty ruleless type of man in general, so me and rules never go well. I'm a very intense person, for whoever knows me. I just get into all sorts of tornado relationships, which is a lot of fun. So,
but are they relationships or are they just relations? Okay.
Yes,
they're not
relationships. No, there is a difference in that ship, but it's still crazy.
Okay.
Get it?
Okay. Yes. So no rules for you.
Well, no, you should have rules. You should. Like if you're two mature adults, it would be in an ideal world to be honest and open and just know what the situation is. But when I find out you talk about the situation, people get nervous. They don't like to talk about it. So there's a lot of secret rules, like under the, that it's kind of the thing.
But how do you know if you're not talking about it?
Oh, most people have miscommunication problems anyway, so we just use our minds. I think we're really telepathic.
Yeah, right. No, we're not. Sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
There's two important things that you have to recognize before entering in a friends with benefits situation. Number one, you have to know that this is only going to continue for a period of time. No matter what,
so
it's commitment. This relationship, this friends with benefits, sex relationship, whether they find another partner or whether the two of you become jealous.
There always is emotions that make all that complicated.
That's what I was going to say. What happens after you end this friends with benefit relationship? What happens next?
So number one is you have to make sure that you know in advance that it's going to end at a certain point. Number two, you have to make a set of rules that you both agree upon, whether that's agreeing to not fall for each other, agreeing not to get jealous of one another.
Yeah, you can.
And not texting unless it's a sext.
Do we live in communist relationships here? No, we don't. It's not communist relationship Russia.
And that's not friends with benefits. It's friends with restrictions.
Yeah, only being calling for a shack up and not getting too close to each other, unless you want to go that route. But if you're fully committed to being a friends with benefits, you got to know, you got to keep it that way.
Francis?
Afterwards, the friends with benefits, once it's over, you're no longer friends. That's who is still friends with the person who's friends with benefits after. Nobody.
Okay.
Very hard.
Very hard.
Good to the relationship saying we were just going to do this. Like we're just going to be friends that have sex. Is that
I think we live in a world that changes so fast. You meet someone and a month later your perspective totally changes about them and then you're on to somebody else. And that's the world we live in and it sucks, but it's fast and it's heartbreaking and lovely at the same time.
It can be either. Okay, I don't want to make it a hetero conversation, but either person in the relationship, whether it's the guy or the girl or both guys, both girls, whatever the situation is, one of them usually happens to fall for the other, or starts getting jealous, or
that's where the rules come in, where you can't. If that starts to happen, then you know that this can't just be a friendship anymore.
Well, here's the bigger question: who wrote the rules on friends and benefits?
Justin Timberlake.
That's right. I mean, look at this. Yeah,
that's why right from the start you have to talk to each other and set your boundaries where you want to take this and what your relationship is going to be.
And you certainly don't want a relationship with benefits that has drama in it, that takes so much away from everything else, right?
It's fun.
You're just doing it for fun.
Oof, so much fun.
So once it starts, well, that's the thing, and then feelings come into play, and then the drama sets in, and then, as Ryan was saying, the jealousy possibly, and somebody falls for the other.
If you're with a friend, you're out, you have the one night stand, and then you just say, this was never going to work. Let's just take it as it was. Then that would be your friend with benefit. You keep it up for a longer time.
Do you really stand in the one night stand?
I don't. Well. Who doesn't? But then again, it's you get in, get off, get out.
No judgment.
Right? Let's say it's your friend you're hanging out with, and they're there, just happen to be the right space.
So you decide together, and you say, "Oh, you know what? Why don't we do this?"
Yeah, we drank, we this, we that. You're this, I'm that. So let's just
try it.
Let's just do it.
And then it ruins it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. You're no longer friends.
Well, see, that's the risk, right? If you start off friends and then have sex, you may not want to be friends anymore.
Yeah,
I think the solution would be if you're both germaphobes. and you're okay with just like not having many partners because you're scared of getting all the diseases, you stick together, but you won't be with each other forever because you're scared of commitment. But there you go. There you go. Two
Commitment to
germaphobes
germs?
having
Sometimes I
sex.
wonder about that, though. Two people who spend a lot of time intimately together, why wouldn't they be in a relationship? Like, what is stopping them from being in more than just the sex part? You have to like the person that you're having sex with, I would imagine.
Well, actually, I had a situation that relates to that. I was in a friends with benefits situation with someone that, on a personality level, we just pretty much hated each other, but sexually we were quite compatible.
You hated each other, but hey, what?
But yeah,
you
that
wanna
raw
sleep
energy
with me, that works.
went well in the bedroom.
Well, that's very interesting.
Very Tinder.
You wouldn't
very
date her,
Tinder.
but you wouldn't date